Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad, it's Josh, it's Eric, via satellites, via Wi-Fi's, via, should have got a hardline connection. We're here to break down the Thursday night game, give you everything that's happening on Sunday night, Monday night, all those games, all the past. Yeah, we're going to do a little out of order today, but we're going to get you guys through this. We're going to get you prepared. We might bring up some guys that if they slid through your waiver wires because we didn't get you all a proper waiver wire show, but you might want to check and see if they're out there on free agency. Go snatch them up, grab them up. Alrighty, guys. How's everybody doing? Real quick and short because we got a long show, boys.
Good.
Next question. Cool. Love it. So since we're going to talk about Carolina and we got to talk about Tampa Bay, we're going to talk about the Carolina game and the Tampa Bay game. Let's start with the Rams at the Panthers. So Cam Newton, huh?
Yeah,
Veganism not doing him well.
That didn't really pan out.
Yeah, didn't look great. It's week one. Nobody panic. Everybody calm down about everybody. That's all I have to say about that.
I will not calm down about Sammy Watkins. So
Well, we'll get there, Josh.
I won't do it.
We'll get there. I'm mad at all my drops because I had a lot of drops prepared for Josh today, but they're not on working, so maybe they'll just come in after the fact and you won't know it. All right, so we have Cam Newton who completely busted, 3 turnovers, 239 yards, but one guy in Carolina did not bust.
Whew.
Good old Christian McCaffrey.
C-Mac,
128 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns, and just tack on 81 more yards through the air.
Who's counting?
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it.
I mean, he's a must-start every week, so we don't have to worry about Christian McCaffrey. DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, neither one of them did anything to, DJ Moore dropped a pass that was actually one of the fumbles for Cam Newton. It was a backward lateral. So, how you guys feeling about Eric? How you feeling about your Curtis Samuel love that you had preseason?
I mean, he's gonna live and die with Cam, so here we are. Where did he finish? Curtis.
I'm concerned.
Yeah,
about
that
Cam
whole
Newton.
offense looked other than McCaffrey. That whole offense didn't look great.
I don't think Cam's right.
I think it's more that defense for the Rams. I think
I
they
don't know, man.
They knew they couldn't stop McCaffrey. They forced Cam into bad situations. But, hey, Jared Goff, he didn't do much better. He was pretty much a big old poo-poo dud-dud. 186 yards and 1 touchdown. Not what you're looking for.
No.
Yeah,
it's not.
but they ran the ball effectively. He didn't really have to do a whole lot, kind of like Kirk Cousins against Atlanta. So
Yeah, 9 fantasy points, looking really stout there, your quarterback.
Yeah, that hurt.
It was better than Cam's 5. You brought up, Eric, you brought up the running situation there. They ran the ball well. How do you feel about that running situation there in the L.A.?
Sean McVay, how about you give Todd Gurley, guy I have in multiple leagues, the damn ball at the goal line? Pull your head out of your ass. Quit giving him Malcolm Brown.
Would you like to guess
Ridiculous.
how many carries Todd Gurley got inside the 5-yard line?
Do I know how many?
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head.
I'll
no.
give you a hint. It's the same as you got on Sunday.
0?
Yep.
Yeah, great. He was so efficient, too. He had 14 carries for 97 yards. He was super efficient on the ground. Yeah, he didn't get a lot of targets through the air, but he got enough. But
and on Goff's
God,
touchdown
give him
pass.
some goal line carries.
Goff's touchdown pass to Tyler Higbee. Oh, no, sorry, Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett got the touchdown pass, correct?
That was very helpful.
You want to know what running back was in there then? Good old Gerald Henderson.
Yeah, it was Tyler Higbee who caught the touchdown. This is all bad. He still spread the ball around. Cooper Kupp was the apple of his eye, along with Robert Woods, and Brandon Cook suffered a little bit, but yeah, wasn't great. Wasn't great by any stretch. If you had
The Rams
Robert
defense.
Woods in PPR, yeah, or if you had the Rams defense, great. But this wasn't fun for me. I was expecting a little bit more.
This wasn't fun for me.
All right, and then we'll get to the
brother.
49ers traveling all the way down to Tampa Bay. And, yeah, Tampa Bay.
Dude, Jameis looked terrible.
Oh, sorry, no, not great. Wrong word. Terrible, you're right there, Eric.
31-17, Niners.
Yeah.
Let's just start with Jameis. Big letdown, doo-doo. One good thing is he did get Godwin the ball in the end zone. He did have 2 separate camera break touchdown passes that got called back for penalties. So had both of those went in the end zone, we're talking a different day for.
Well, he did throw 3 touchdown passes in this game.
Yeah, they went the other way.
2 of them were to the other team.
We didn't care about that though. We wanted to see the touchdowns from Jameis, and we didn't get it. I really think that had those camera break ones not got called back, because both those plays ended up in disaster. One of them ended up in interception in the end zone. We're talking different about Jameis. If it's 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, it's a lot different than 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I liked seeing was Rojo.
Oh, yeah.
He's the better running back there, right?
Which is funny because Bruce Arians came out and he's like, Peyton Barber is still our starter. I'm like, come on.
He will be.
Come on.
He will be.
You know better. Then he said we'll go with a hot hand approach. Well, right now it looks like Peyton Barber ain't got no hot hands. It's all Rojo.
The problem is Ronald Jones also only got 1 target through the air. And O.J. Howard, are you guys worried?
No, because I would be worried about Mike Evans then. I'm not worried. I think this team just needs to get time to get on track and possibly find a new quarterback. No big deal. There's plenty of those out there.
Yeah, it's week 1. Nobody panic. Most of these guys haven't suited up or barely suited up together in the preseason, and OTAs and camp and all that crap are shorter. So everybody step back, take a breath. It'll even out. Don't worry. Talent will prevail. It'll happen.
But you want to get your hands on some Rojo. He's going to be the guy.
Yeah, if you didn't get picked up, go grab him. And they play Thursday night, so you better get in fast. On the 49ers side of the ball, Jimmy Garoppolo didn't look much better than Jameis.
No, he didn't, but he didn't need to.
Biggest news out of this, Tevin Coleman, high ankle sprain. He's going to miss a few weeks. So, Matt Breida, are you picking up Raheem Mostert, Josh?
No, I'm not.
Even though Matt Breida's got a history of being banged up? What about you, Eric?
I think at this point, you might want to, because Coleman's already hurt. McKinnon's hurt. If Breida goes down, which is entirely possible, he's it. That's all they got.
Which he did
you
go
might
down
as
in
well
the first
take
half.
a flyer on him and see what happens if
possible.
you need depth.
You mean probable.
Yeah.
Well, Breida went down in the first half of that game and came back in the second
Right, so
half.
he was hurt. And Mostert outscored him. But not by much, but he still outscored him. So, in PPR. So
I'm interested in getting me a little Raheem Mostert. If I got a spot on the bench for him, sure, why not?
Yeah. Jared.
Yeah.
George Kittle. He got his targets. Got 10 targets. Caught 8 of them. 54 yards. Would have been nice to get a touchdown, but whatever. Give it to Ricky James.
Good job, Richie James. Good for you, bud. And then no one else did anything ever on the entire game. It was horrible.
Pretty upsetting, Bob. Yeah, it was bad.
All right, so we don't bury the Thursday night game in this show. Let's go ahead and preview Thursday night for you all that can't listen for a whole hour of it, through our mumbling and our stumbling and our bumbling and our fumbling.
Oh, good job, John, man.
Yeah. Thursday night football. We have we have Tampa Bay going to Carolina to play. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey's a must start, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Mike Evans,
I'm still going to start him.
still going to start him?
You should.
I think
you should still start Mike Evans.
I think some of that was the illness. He came down with an illness on Friday, and you could kind of tell he was on the sidelines wheezing and coughing. I don't think he was himself completely. I fully expect him to get back to his beautiful form and have a decent game on Thursday night.
Okay. It is a short week. What about the 2 tight ends in this game, Eric? O.J. Howard, Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen missed practice on Monday, I think it was, for a back. He's on the injury report with the back. Oh, sorry. Today, Tuesday.
He missed both.
Both days.
Yeah, he missed today and yesterday. Yeah, he says he's going to play Thursday. It's probably going to be a game time decision, so I'd keep an eye on him if he's your guy. I still like Howard better. Unfortunately, Olsen is old and beat up, and he doesn't really perform that well. He had an okay week. I think he had like 7 points, but at the same time, Howard's the guy you want to play in this matchup. I think Howard will come through.
Okay. Josh, are you starting either one of these quarterbacks? Would you start either one of these guys?
I would start Cam Newton in a heartbeat.
Really? On a short week? It's Thursday
Yeah.
Night Football, man.
I
Aaron
feel-
Rodgers dudded you last week.
I feel good about it.
Mitch Trubisky dudded you last week.
I'm telling you, man. I feel real good. Real good.
I'll tell you
That's
right now,
Auburn
I'm not.
bias coming in.
No, I believe
I got
me,
Lamar
I'm off
Jackson
of
over him.
Oh yeah, but I'm off of the Cam Newton train. But I'm telling you, for this week against Tampa, who does not have a great anything, I feel pretty confident.
Yeah, their secondary is pretty rough. It was last season too. Even when they were healthy, they were not good. So
I think they're going to be fine, and I do believe in Cam Newton this week against Tampa. Do whatever you want, but that's what I think.
yeah, unfortunately, these NFC South games are usually like knockdown, drag out, either really low scoring or really high scoring. It seems to be no in between with these. So we'll see what we get. Hopefully, it's the high scoring one.
And the last thing is the running back situation in Tampa. Are you starting Ronald Jones, Eric, Peyton Barber, Dari
Agumbawale.
Agumbawale? Oh, I love that name.
I still don't want anybody in this backfield. He didn't. I mean, yeah, he was the number one guy, but he finished as the 29th running back in PPR formats this past weekend with 10.3 points. So if you got to dig deep because you're in a deep league, you have 14 teams, 16 teams, and you need to play him as your 2 or your flex, okay. But hopefully you have better options than any of the Tampa Bay running backs.
Yeah. But on my case for Cam, I have 13 quarterbacks. I just went down the roster that I have over Cam Newton for this week. So
That's fine.
that's just me personally. If you have to start him. It is Cam at home. I'd rather start him and Jameis because I always favor the home team in a Thursday night game because of the travel situations.
Yeah, I think I don't have the stats in front of me, but I feel like the home teams usually prevail in these NFC South matchups. But
Exactly. And Christian McCaffrey's a must start. He'll get you another 50 hopefully and be good to go.
Oh yeah, so good.
Do you guys want to do Thursday MVPs? Oh yeah.
Well,
did you guys forget about it?
Are we gonna say that you can't take McCaffrey?
Yep. McCaffrey's off the
Sure.
board,
I
obviously.
think that's fair.
We let Eric go
Yeah,
first
that's
last
fair.
week.
Yeah, Eric.
So Josh, you get the first dibs here.
Oh, I get first dibs. Carolina, Tampa. I'm gonna go OJ Howard. I like OJ Howard this week. He's my MVP.
okay.
Eric, who you got?
Let's see. I like. See, you went with a Buccaneer. I'll go with a. I'm gonna go with. I'll go with Cam. I say he bounces back. I'll go with Cam.
Yeah.
And I'm taking my biggest hype of the all season, the guy I've been on fire. I said he was going to be the number one wide receiver in Tampa, and right now he is.
Technically,
Chris Godwin.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Last
his
week,
money where his mouth
none of
is.
us
I
got
like
this,
it.
by the way. None of us were even close last week. So let's see if we can fix this up.
Yeah, we weren't really that close on the pie bet either, were you, bud?
No, Jameis hooked me up, but he's going to come back. We got me famous Amos, boys. That'll be going down on Friday
I
night.
think we're gonna let Carla, which is Brad's wife. I think we're gonna let her hit him in the face with a pie, and well post it on Instagram.
Yeah, it'll be
Why
done
not
this
let
week
our
before
wives
the
get
Friday
involved?
show.
Yeah, why not let our wives get involved?
Yeah, do it. Sure. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do, especially if I call in. So
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. Let's continue to break down these games from last week. So we talked about 2 of them, right? We already talked about the Thursday night game last week. We got the Redskins putting up 27 points against the Eagles.
Sure did. Case
They
Keenum.
lost the game, but Darius Guice had 18 total rushing yards, and now he had an MRI on his knee. So Adrian Peterson, we all love him, right?
yeah, we haven't heard any official word as to whether. I know he got the MRI and they hope he doesn't need surgery, but we haven't heard definitively if he does or doesn't. So I'm worried about it.
He's still going to be out at least a week this week, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Adrian Peterson owners rejoice because he's probably going to play this week. Healthy scratch. That's stupid.
Okay, then Case Keenum, 380 yards and 3 touchdowns. Holy guacamole, Case Keenum.
That was
It was just the Broncos. We all know it.
no, that was garbage time, is what that
John
was.
Elway is just like Michael Jordan. He has no idea how to evaluate talent.
I concur. I could not concur more.
Yeah, that was a weird. This whole weekend was weird for football, but nobody expected Washington to do anything. What was the receiver's name in that game? I know Deshaun Jackson was like the leader for between both teams, but the Washington kid that came through big.
Terry
was his-
McLaurin.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
That's
Terry
his name.
McLaurin. Yep.
Yeah.
You picking him up? Anybody picking him up?
I think why not? He's a stash.
I don't have room for him anywhere. I lost in every league this week, so yeah, I'm looking to shore up certain positions, not wide receiver.
When a guy goes for 5 for 125 and a teat, I got to see what's under the hood.
Yep. Carson Wentz looked really good. 313, 3 touchdowns.
Did he though? Did he?
I mean,
The whole game? Did he?
fantasy-wise, we're talking about fantasy, right? We're not talking about real football.
Yeah, we're talking fantasy. Yeah, we don't care about.
Fantasy-wise, he did it. I mean, yes, they were chasing points almost the whole game, and that's why they had to do this.
Yeah, garbage time points count the same as non-garbage time points.
Ask
So
Blake Bortles.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Blake Bortles has won fantasy championships.
R.I.P.
right?
All right, Darren Sproles leading the backfield here for the Eagles.
He's a thing.
9 carries, 47 yards. I will say Miles Sanders carried the ball 11 times. He did have a touchdown called back for a holding call. So if he has that, he has a decent game. Still not a great game, but a decent, okay game.
I still feel like it's a great time to go buy Miles Sanders low. There's
But
no
you-
way Darren Sproles is going to play 16 games.
But you're going to be holding Miles Sanders for like 4 weeks
Oh, yeah.
until they figure out Jordan Howard
You got to wait this out.
was undrafted for a reason.
Yeah, you got to wait this out.
Yeah, never did I think Darren Sproles was going to be the rushing leader for Philly in Week 1, but here we are. Again, weird weekend for football, and I love the way Wentz used Deshaun Jackson. That was great. I'm glad they meshed, because I think last week most of us said, wait and see on Deshaun. I know I did for sure. Wait and see what happens, and then maybe pick him up on waivers or make a trade for him. And you're going to pay a premium now because he had a huge game. And poor Alshon Jeffrey just can't get any love from Carson Wentz. And even Ertz didn't get really any targets. So
Well, I just want to backtrack a little bit. I think I said this is a revenge game for Deshaun Jackson. And Deshaun Jackson knows one thing, and that's revenge.
He does.
that's right. They cut him, right?
Yes.
The Redskins.
So whenever they go down and, do they have a game against Tampa this year? Because I hope so. Let's fire Deshaun Jackson up for that.
Yeah, because he's only good for like 3 weeks a year anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Jackson's a boomer bust guy. If Carson Wentz is willing to go deep to him, like Fitzmagic did last year, he'll be good. But if you won't, he's going to have a terrible year. What about, so Alshon Jeffrey, you said he was 5 for 49 with a touchdown, and he also rushed for a touchdown.
That was so strange.
So Alshon Jeffrey owners rejoice because he didn't hurt himself doing this.
Yeah, he's still a wide receiver too. I'm fine with that.
Anything else you guys want to talk about this?
I do want to talk about Trey Quinn still 4 for 33 with a touchdown. He was targeted 6 times by Case Keenum. I understand that he threw the ball 44 times, but this is a guy that he likes his slot receiver. And now Chris Thompson's going to be in the fold a lot. So Trey Quinn and Terry McLaurin are guys that I have high hopes for. I got high hopes for a living.
Okay, and then we'll take things up. We'll go up north to the MetLife Stadium. We'll take it to Buffalo. Beat the Jets 17-6. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, Berman.
All right, Josh Allen. He rushed for a touchdown, thank goodness, because if not, you were really regretting starting him if you tried to pull that out.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
It wasn't great.
He was a QB2, like a mid-tier QB2. He wasn't that bad.
So Frank Gore gets 11 carries,
He was terrible.
gains 20 yards.
He had 18 fantasy points.
Yeah.
More than Trubisky had for me.
No,
More
I'm
than
saying
Goff.
like he rushed that rushing touchdown's what pushed him over 12 points, 18 points.
I mean, whatever gets you there, bud.
Exactly.
Whatever gets you there.
Devin Singletary though, 4 rushes, 70 yards. Should he be the back?
Yeah, right.
I mean, we just got to wait for them to finally add it, or no, who's I can't remember who the Buffalo coach is, but for him to be like, Frank
Doug
Gore's old and slow.
Doug
This
Marrone.
other guy's young and fast.
You mean you don't want 11 for 20?
I mean,
Is that what you're saying, Mariano?
I love Frank Gore. Okay,
I do too.
he is a constant professional.
Timeless.
You would
he is
never.
the ageless one, but I think the age is finally starting to show through.
And then Smoke Show.
Smoke show.
7 for 123 and a teeth.
Well, whenever Buffalo decided, hey, you know what? Maybe we should go out there and play some football. Josh Allen's like, I think I can sling this thing. He's Jay Cutler. He can sling it. So
I like the fact that John Brown got 10 targets. Cole Beasley got 9. So Cole Beasley's a guy out there if you're looking for a Julian Edelman-like guy.
If you got a bad case of the Beasles, there's only one cure.
More Beasles?
More Beasles.
Let's move over to the Jets side of the ball. Sam Darnold, he looked okay, but whatever. If you're starting Sam Darnold, you're probably in a 2 QB league and you have no choice. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Concur.
Le'Veon Bell, though.
Yep.
Adam Gase is a liar. Le'Veon Bell rushed the ball 17 times. He was targeted 9 times. He's the workhorse there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So Le'Veon Bell's back. Usage-wise. Maybe not the same production, but usage-wise, he will be up there with the rest of the backs.
And we all assumed the volume would be there. They paid him a lot of money to come there, so they have to use him essentially.
And then
And he's still talented.
if you want a PPR guy though, Jamison Crowder,
Cheese and rice.
17
Yeah.
targets.
Come on, man.
14 catches for 99 yards, which is a horrible stat line, really, when you think about it. But
But PPR-wise,
14 points just off of reception. That's bananas.
and then almost
Yeah,
10 points.
24
off the
total
outside.
points in PPR.
Good for you, Jamison Crowder.
So Jamison Crowder, if he's not owned, go snatch him up, grab him, take him all the way to the bank with you. There was news though, because we haven't got to AB getting signed by the Patriots yet. But today, the Patriots made a trade.
Oh, they did.
They traded Demaryius Thomas
Oh,
to the Jets, and I want to bring this up right now.
Why?
Because do you guys think it affects Jamison Crowder?
no.
Because Jamison Crowder's a slot guy,
Yeah,
right?
no.
Yeah, no. It
But
doesn't-
Robbie Anderson and Quincy Enunwa, that's where it's going to hurt.
No.
I think all 3 of those guys are still ahead of him on the depth chart. I think he's a veteran presence there to help them along, to help Sam Darnold along, maybe some other, and a good locker room presence. I don't think he's going to play a lot.
I honestly think he's taking Quincy Enunwa's job. Quincy Enunwa had 1 reception for -4 yards. Enunwa is a converted tight end who had a great year when all the injuries piled up, but he had the neck injury and the back injury, and he just never came back the same.
I don't know. I agree with Eric. I think he's washed.
Who?
DT. I love
He
the
looked
guy.
good in that last preseason game, baby.
Yeah, well, okay. I think he's washed, and I'm not buying this.
I mean, I'll have him, if you had a new one on your team, would you drop a new one
Yeah,
for
but
him?
I don't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you're saying that he'll be better than a new one this year?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
But I don't understand why people keep trading the Patriots. They're clearly going to cut him. They were going to cut him. They were going to cut DT anyway. Why are we giving up anything to get him?
Because Bill Belichick is smarter than everyone
Bird
else in the
years.
league. And he knows somebody's going to give up a pick for it.
In
Even
your
if it's
own division.
Belichick loves those late, like 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. He's like, yeah, just give me a 6. I'm gonna, knowing in his head, you're right, Josh. I'm gonna cut him, but he's like, I can get something for it, so I might as well. And people do it. They keep doing it, even though these guys are stacked and look scary as hell against Pittsburgh, and are probably gonna win their 7th Super Bowl. Whatever. It's ridiculous.
All right. Yep. And that was on the podium with Eric. All right.
Stop trading.
So we have next up Falcons, Vikings. Yeah, Atlanta, you put up 12 points. You waited till the fourth
Golly.
quarter to do it. Poor Matt Bryan didn't get any field goals because you went for 2 both times. All right, so let's start with the Vikings because this is going to be easy. Kirk Cousins threw the ball 10 times. Completed 8 of them for 98
all
yards
he
and a
needed to.
touchdown. And he completed 3 of those. Adam Thielen caught all 3 of his targets for 43 yards and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs caught all 2 of his targets for 37 yards.
That hurt.
Dalvin Cook caught both of his, but poor old Kyle Rudolph didn't catch his target. So he goose egged you.
He's his one target.
His 1 target. He didn't catch it.
Wow. Minnesota. That sucked. I mean, good for them. They
mean-
won the game, but
Yeah, their defense and their special teams just came out ready to go, and Atlanta looked just completely flabbergasted. It was ridiculous.
So Dalvin Cook, though, 21 carries, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He is the first Viking since Adrian Peterson to rush for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on the opening weekend.
I'll buy that.
I mean, he's got the pedigree, the talent's there. It's just the health factor. Well, hopefully he stays healthy because he looked great.
The question I want to ask you guys: Alexander Mattson.
There's a young man chomping at the bit back here behind.
He was
Dalvin
9
Cook,
for 49.
which is a better yards per carry.
Yeah, and it might have been
Yep.
towards. He might have got a lot of those in when the Falcons were giving up. Defense was beat down. But
I care not, sir.
I mean, even Amir Abdullah averaged 4 yards carry.
I don't care about that.
I think if you're a Cook owner and you don't have him on your roster to handcuff him with his injury history, you're being dumb.
What if you're not a Cook owner? Would you guys be willing? Eric, would you carry him even if you weren't a Cook owner?
Yeah, steal him and hold him hostage when Dalvin Cook gets hurt because he probably will.
Because I like to play the lottery.
All right.
History says he will get hurt. So
Anything you guys want to talk about else about the Vikings? I think this was just a weird game. The defense was playing well. They did not need to throw the
That
ball.
defense is so good.
Are you worried about Diggs or Thielen or Cousins?
No.
They got game plan.
no, those guys they'll be fine. They'll get their points.
Now on the other side of the ball, Matt Ryan, who started off horrendously, but he ended up throwing he threw the ball 44 times, so he got up to 300 yards, barely.
Nailed it.
2 touchdowns,
barely.
2 interceptions. The lead back for them, Eric, your favorite guy, Ito Smith. Talk to me about that.
Brutal. I can't. If you, I have Devontae Freeman in our new dynasty league. What a brutal stat line from him. I can't believe Ito Smith outscored him. I can't believe it. It's again weird week of football. Nobody panic, but still very disappointing performance from Devonta Freeman.
Matt Ryan outrushed Devonta Freeman too, just so you know.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's a mummy too. Like that's ridiculous.
Hooper owners,
Good for
9
you.
targets, 9 receptions, 77 yards.
It's pretty easy to charge
This is like a Hooper line, isn't
whenever
it?
Julio Jones is freaking blanketed by Xavier Rhodes. So
But Julio still got his
Julio
touchdown,
got a teeth though.
which saved his day for you
when he wasn't being covered by Xavier Rhodes,
because all roads closed, baby.
because all roads
Yep.
are closed. Still
Mom,
only
Yeah,
had 15 PPR
I didn't
points.
listen to you guys last week about the roads being closed, and you were right.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley, 4 receptions, 64 yards, and touchdown. Was that just they're going away from Xavier Rhodes, Josh?
Yeah, because Xavier Rhodes was on Julio Jones on 77% of his routes. Yeah, there was no way. Roads are closed.
And then Mohamed Sanu, 5 for 57.
Don't care.
Okay. Do you guys even want to own Mohamed Sanu? Josh?
No.
Eric?
I mean bench spot maybe. Yeah, sure.
Would you rather have one of the Washington guys over Mohamed Sanu?
Yeah. Terry McLaurin.
I think Sanu is a more established guy. You know what you're getting with him week in and week out as a third guy on that team.
And let's
I like Sanu.
I'm established.
let's talk about the most exciting game of the week. Not the closest game by any means, but it was exciting.
The Browns or the Steelers?
No.
I think he's talking about the Dolphins.
I'm talking about good
Oh.
old Baltimore going down to Miami, and I thought the hurricane already left, but it came back for another sweep through to tear up that poor town.
Hurricane Lamar coming through, boys.
Yeah, so I was all about starting Lamar Jackson, but I thought it was going to be on his legs. I think he thought he was back at Louisville playing one of like Cincinnati or something.
He was out there playing a freaking FCS school, dude.
17 for
Dude.
20. And I'll get into the receivers in a minute because we got to talk about some of that. 5 touchdowns. RG3 got in there and went 6 for 6 with a touchdown.
Why not?
So,
He was the number 1 QB this week in fantasy.
and I do have a question about next week with the Dolphins for you guys when we get there. But Mark Ingram, 14 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Nailed it.
On my bench, sad panda.
Why didn't you listen to me?
Anthony, Tony Levine, 1 for 60. Don't know who he is, but just give him the ball.
Nailed it.
The Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. Do you guys think Justice Hill is just a stash if you're a Mark Ingram owner?
Yeah, I do.
the way they ran the ball last year, I don't think it's a bad idea to have any of these guys on your bench, like stashed away on your team.
They ran the ball 46 times though. I mean,
Yeah.
I still feel pretty confident that these guys will get some work in.
I mean, if they keep getting these big plays in a lead, yeah, they're going to be like, okay, we're going to run you to death now. We're literally just going to hit you in the mouth over and over again, and you're not going to want to deal with it.
And then they'll go over the top once you start trying to play the run. Because Lamar
Right,
Jackson
and then
proved
play
if you
action
give
pass,
him a pocket, he can throw the ball on a line to a good old guy named Marquise Hollywood Brown, who ran, hold on, he was out there for 12 plays, only ran 10 routes. 10 routes the whole game, not 10 different routes. No, 10 routes is all he ran.
Didn't need to.
He had 5
Yeah.
targets, 4 catches, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I like that stat line.
What's crazy about that? He was the 5th best wide receiver this past week. The 5th.
Yeah, we'll get into all that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Do you guys want to pick up Marquise Brown?
Do I want him?
Do you guys want him?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, him and Lamar Jackson showed a great rapport. They're lined up, they're synced up, whatever you want to say. They were great.
Eric, do you worry
No
about
reason not to.
Do you worry about the fact that he only played in 12 plays?
No, they killed it. He could be the next Tyler, like a better version of Tyler Lockett, where he gets 2 for 80 and a score.
He could. I think honestly, had the game been closer, he probably would have ran more than 12 plays. Personally,
Sure,
that's just
but they didn't need him out there.
exactly. Mark Andrews though, holy guacamole, 8
Right?
targets, 8 receptions.
I'm trying to pick him up too.
Yeah, he's a tight end. Would you drop OJ Howard for Mark Andrews?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
You know who I will probably drop for him though is from the Colts there, Eric Ebron.
What about?
Sad Panda.
Do you guys want anything to do with Willie Snead?
The 4th?
Whatever.
No.
Okay.
But Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews are 2 real hot names right now. The rest of the guys, they were okay. That's kind of more. Everyone else is about what I kind of expected from this passing attack. So I like Mark Andrews the best over Marquise Brown because 4 targets or 4 receptions isn't really enough to have the meat on the bone. I'm looking at him more in the same vein as Deshaun Jackson, like boomer bust kind of player. I still want him just to see how this pans out. But I'm not buying the Lamar Jackson being able to throw and have a perfect pass rating every week. They played the Dolphins, who, once they got down, they just started quitting on him. Like, it was blatantly obvious that they didn't care anymore.
Yeah, they did. That was pretty rough to watch, honestly. And then a bunch of them called their agents for trades after the game, supposedly.
Not Zamian Howard, the best
Yeesh.
corner. He said he did not do that.
He's committed to the rebuild.
Yes.
Sure he is.
But I have a question. So the Patriots play Miami next week.
If you're not streaming their defense, you're crazy. If they're not,
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
So this is before the news that we'll get to when we get to New England about Antonio Brown because the Antonio Brown saga continues. We'll get to that in a minute. But if he plays and Josh Gordon plays, am I stupid not to start both of them?
Antonio Brown and
Yeah.
Josh Gordon?
Yeah.
yes.
Tyreek Hill went down.
You should start every Patriot you have this week.
Tyreek Hill went down, so
I'm definitely starting Flash. And
if AB plays, we'll talk about the
I
AB
don't-
news.
I don't
Here,
know-
you know what, guys? Let's make this easy. We'll kind of go out of order here. We'll go to the Sunday night game so we can talk about AB.
well, let's finish talking about the Dolphins. No one did anything of value, so I would go and get Kenyon Drake right now.
Do you really want him?
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to do anything? I think he's going to do nothing all year.
No, I think he's going to be something. I believe
I
in
don't
the
want any
talent.
Dolphins.
Eric,
I don't want any Dolphins.
Who's the starting quarterback
Stay
for the
away.
Dolphins next week?
I think Fitzmagic still has the job.
Okay.
Yeah, because Rosen came in and immediately threw an interception.
There was nothing to do. Who cared?
Yeah, well,
All right, so we'll go to the Sunday night game because I don't want to talk about the AB. But before I talk about the AB and bring you guys all down with this bad AB news, Josh, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about your FSA team and how the FSA is going and what else is going on in the FSA.
not going well for me, Bob. So in week 1, you played 2 matchups, and I lost 2 matchups. So not ideal. Actually, out of 80 teams, I played the second highest scoring team, and in one of those matchups, and I obviously did not win that matchup. But I'm not ready to give up yet. I have plenty of studs. Just had an off week, no big deal.
What do they got going on at the FSA, though, in general, as a company and everything?
So FSA, they're still doing their weekly broadcast right now. They're getting ready to start up a Dynasty League next year, which is really popular. A lot of people are doing Dynasty. So if you want to play Dynasty with, several players across the world, I think that's a great way to get in on the bottom floor of this deal. So go check them out, fsa-fr.com. Talk to Brian. There's always There's always so much stuff going on. What, Brad? What?
Don't they have like a new like partnership sponsor thing with?
QB54. Yeah.
QB54,
We talked
yeah.
about that last week.
I know, but
they
keep
have
bringing it up.
QB54. We got Jim Beam now. QB54 brought Jim Beam on.
Nice.
Brian's always doing incredible things with his company, and I really want people to go check it out. See what it's about, fsa-fr.com, and just talk to the guy. Just email the league. The commissioner, the guy who runs this company, is willing to talk to you as an individual and let you know what's going on. I couldn't say enough great things about him. So you guys, please go check them out, fsa-fr.com, and go check out my team too, the Mojave Thundercats. We're 0-2. We're making a comeback. Making a comeback.
How's Matt's team doing? The Vols there.
Don't worry about that. I don't
Pretty good, huh?
Who cares?
Yeah. Okay. Copy that.
What about the
He's
team that
gonna
went
win your league.
defense in the second round? They looking good?
They lost
Okay,
by a lot.
but they're still sitting there right there with you.
Yep, true.
Okay.
0-2, baby.
One last thing I want to say about the FSA is that please check out their Wednesday show, like Josh said, because guess what? You get to see our little heroes and villains. Who's
Yeah.
going to be a hero for your team? Who's going to be a villain for your team? Check them out. We got some video. You see our beautiful faces on there.
Yeah, you can see our ugly mugs making terrible terrible predictions. Actually, we did pretty well this week.
I know.
felt
I
like.
know. I did. I
nailed it.
didn't miss anything. I'm just saying.
Little cross pollination there.
Yeah, I nailed it. DJ was great, and Mixon was a dud. Great. Thanks.
Nailed it. Good
Okay.
job.
Appreciate you.
Good
So
job, dude.
now we went nice, and we're going to talk about Sunday night game out of order because we got to talk about AB. We've been recording for 30 minutes, and we haven't brought out AB. Last time we talked to you all, Antonio Brown was a Steeler, put out a video that Gruden loved. That seemed
He
like
was a what?
or not Steeler. Oh my gosh, he
Raider.
was a Raider. Once a Raider, always a Raider.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
All right, but
Watch Hard Knocks.
yeah, he put out the video. Gruden said he loved it. Then the next morning, he tweets out an Instagram about his fine, saying they put a horse on hashtag put a blinders on the horse, just release me. It was great and it was amazing. So the Steelers released him, and then the joke we all made about the Patriots picking him up. Guess what? Patriots signed him, and they signed him very fast. It was like within 5 hours of the release notification where they signed. I wouldn't be surprised if NFL is doing some investigation with some tampering on this. But that's just me. Neither here nor there. We'll see what happens with all that. But right now he's a Patriot, and we thought everything was good, and he was going to be a full go for Week 2's game. But news just broke right before we came on the air. Josh, you want to hit it up?
Antonio Brown has been accused of rape and sexual assault stemming from 3 different incidents in 2017 and 2018. This is from the New York Times. So a lawsuit from Brown's former trainer, Brittany Taylor, claims Brown sexually assaulted Taylor twice during training sessions in June of 2017 and forcibly raped her in March 2018 before bragging about it in profane text messages that are copied in the lawsuit. So they said it's unclear if she has reported any of the 3 incidents to police, but she stated that she cooperate with any NFL investigations. Brown and his legal team have denied any wrongdoings, of course, and they will pursue all legal remedies to not only clear his name, but also to protect other professional athletes against false accusations. What a stand-up guy. He's going to clear his name, and he's going to help other people, too. What a good dude.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this. We'll let you know because I'm not even speculating when it comes to
These
rape
are all
and sexual assault.
accusations right now.
Do you all think he plays Sunday against Miami?
No,
I don't know. I don't.
no, they'll hold him out
Who knows?
because the league's gonna jump on this and they're gonna start their investigation. He's probably allowed to play. I don't think they really need to bring him in this early when he doesn't really know the offense. He may get a few reps, but I don't think he's gonna be worth anything this week anyway. Even if he does actually play,
Okay.
He's not necessary for this game anyway.
he's not.
He's not, but if he plays, you guys starting him though, right?
No, I expect
he
Tom Brady
plays,
to
you
throw the
gotta
ball
start him,
15
yeah.
times in this game.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that on the preview show. But let's get into what New England did to the Steelers
Okay.
because we're talking about New England. I just want to kind of stick with New England and keep on a theme here. Big Ben, Road Big Ben. I told you all, don't start Road Big Ben. It's back. It's real.
It was real bad.
Big Ben's also sucked every time he goes to Foxborough.
It was not good.
It's facts. James Conner. He looked good.
That hurt.
It wasn't good all the way around for any Steelers.
Yeah, Juju stubbed his toe.
Dude, they dropped so many passes that killed drives, It wasn't Juju. It was James Washington and Deontay Johnson. Dante Moncrief dropped like 15 of them.
Dante Moncrief was targeted 10 times, only caught 3 of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, drops is what killed this team more than anything.
And one thing I will say is, in the beginning of the game, when it was kind of Jalen Samuels was getting used a little bit more, and I saw him out there a few times in early drives, which I don't know if that was just Tomlin easing James Conner into the role from being off in the offseason or what it was. It's something I'm going to watch more and more as we go. I want to see if they're going to, because there's been hints that they might use 2 backs.
There's some hints that Mike Tomlin is going to get fired.
No, the Steelers don't fire coaches.
Well, maybe.
They've had 3 coaches in the last 40 years.
Yeah, maybe it's time.
All right. But does this downgrade Juju, Big Ben, James Conner for any of you guys this game?
No, I'm still going to start Juju, James Conner.
What about Vance McDonald?
I was never
40.
high on him anyway.
Okay.
2 for 40?
On Vance?
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay, but then we go over to the Patriots side, and Tom Brady said, hey, boys, let me crack my back a few times, and we'll go out there and act like I'm 39 again. 341 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, Rex Burkhead was still on the team, and he showed up.
That's a waiver wire stash right there, boys.
Are you guys worried about Sony Michel because of what Rex Burkhead did?
I'm worried about Sony Michel because he went 15 carries for 14 yards. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I would rather have James White after that performance. I do have him in a league or two, and I like him better in PPR formats anyway.
So Rex Burkhead actually had 1 more target than James White, got the same amount of balls, and also rushed more times than James White. It's something I'm going to be watching. I don't know if it was just because it was a blowout. They wanted to save their big running backs and let Rex Burkhead go out there. Might have been what it was. We'll see. I mean, they even gave Brandon Bolden the ball once.
Yeah, why not?
But then on the catching side, we got Josh Gordon. He looking good. He took a hit, nice little breaks of tackles, gets some touchdowns runs. I think even if AB plays, I like Josh Gordon because he went and worked this offseason with Tom Brady. They have a better rapport. Their timing's down better. And he wasn't a terrible wide receiver last year. He was a wide receiver, too, for most of the year when he was out there.
I mean, if AB plays, all the coverage shifts towards him. That just makes Gordon's looks even better. Same with Edelman.
Are you guys believing Philip Dorsett? 2 touchdowns?
Not if AB plays, no.
Not if AB plays? Okay. And
Yeah,
then
no.
Julian Edelman did Julian Edelman things. I mean, do we really need to talk about what Julian Edelman does? He does what Julian Edelman does.
I will say this. If the Browns, if Antonio Brown doesn't play, you need to fire up Philip Dorsett in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you need to be ready to make that swap.
Because Brady's going
you have
to
him.
bomb that bad boy out
and he
there
might
for him.
catch something from Stidham in that game.
Maybe. Well, Brady's not coming out. Brady hates coming out.
I bet you if they probably want to outscore what the Ravens did, but once they break 60.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Once they break 60.
All right, so since the Steelers and the Dolphins both had no fight, we'll go to a game where one team had a lot of fight and the other team had a lot of fight, but one of them was fighting the football way and one of them was throwing fisticuffs. We have the Chiefs beating down Jacksonville 40-26. Miles Jack throwing punches is what I'm alluding to.
Yeah, they just came out firing on all cylinders, the Chiefs. They looked fantastic from the get-go.
Oh, yeah, they did.
So, Josh, go ahead. Let me hear it. Go ahead. Talk about your Chiefs.
The number 1 receiver in all of fantasy football this week, Mr. Samuel J. Watkins. 9 catches for 198 yards, 3 teats. My boy, 11 targets. My goodness, that is a sexy stat line. I've been believing in you for years, Sammy. Thank you. Thank you. No,
I'm going to say it one more time. Everybody calm down. It was 1 game.
Well, actually,
1 week.
For Sammy, it's going to be a little bit more than 1 week because Tyreek Hill, who caught 2 catches for 16 yards, went down with a collarbone injury. It wasn't a break like someone else in this game who suffered a broken collarbone, but he did hurt himself, and he's going to be out for a while.
He dislocated the part of the collarbone that's by the sternum, and that's why you had to go to the hospital, because that could go behind your sternum. And obviously we know there's some vital organs behind the sternum.
From what I understand, that hurts.
Yeah. So from what I've seen from previous players that have had this, it's been about a 5-week injury. Been out for about 5 weeks.
Okay.
But they won't know a time. They're not even putting a timetable on it because they don't know, because it depends on how it sets back in the joint. A lot of things go into it. But Tyreek Hill probably, I'd plan on being out at least 5 weeks. I'm a dum-dum making a guess here.
I've seen 6 to 7 from some outlets, but again, yeah, like you said, Brad, no timetable.
All right, and then the running back situation in Kansas City.
Oh,
So LaShawn McCoy was the better running back, right, rushing-wise.
Yes.
But Damian Williams was the better fantasy because he got the touchdown and got the receiving.
Yep.
Do you guys see with Tyreek Hill out, Damian Williams' role as a pass catcher evolving? Because those targets got to go somewhere, and they're not all going to go to Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, he's definitely going to evolve a little bit. And the rookie, whose name is eluding me right now,
Mecole Hardman.
Mecole Hardman, he had no catches in this game. So even after Tyreek went down, it wasn't like he stepped up. I'm expecting to see a little bit more out of Damian Williams. Like you said, probably going to that passing work. And McCoy being the straight-up runner.
And even in the beginning of the game, like McCoy's stat line looks better, but that's when the game got out of hand. They were letting McCoy get a lot more run in the second half. They're still saving Damian Williams. I think McCoy's there. He will get work. You will see rushing numbers that are probably okay in most weeks, and they have Oakland next week, so this could be another game where it's a blowout and they let McCoy run the clock out.
Yeah, Andy Reid's so good at putting his guys in positions to succeed, at least in the regular season. So both of these guys are going to do pretty well.
Got him.
I have a question for both of you, though. With Sammy Waffles now being the number one guy since Tyreek Hill's out, you think he can repeat this performance over a couple of weeks with number one coverage possibly being doubled?
This one?
He won't repeat this performance.
Nobody's repeating this performance. It's like saying Christian McCaffrey's going to put up 44 again.
Okay, but do you think he repeats number one receiver numbers?
Do I think he can be a number
each
one
week?
wide receiver every week when Tyreek Hill's out? Yeah, he has the possibility.
Oh, yeah.
You think he's a wide receiver one?
He's the
week in and week out
thoroughbred, son.
Yeah, he's Patrick Mahomes' number one read on deep routes now.
Thoroughbred of getting hurt.
Yeah, and that's the thing you got to watch with Sammy Watkins is he feels good right now. We'll see what happens
He's got
after
a nice
Oakland.
haircut. He's going to play 12 games.
Okay. Now we go over to I actually was getting ready to go to the next game because I forgot that another team played in this. But we have Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette fumbled the ball for the first time in his NFL career and lost a fumble for the first time in his NFL career. Gardner Minshew, right? Nick Foles was lighting it up, and my pick of Nick Foles being a good start this week was looking good
It was.
until he broke his collarbone.
You can't help that.
No.
I mean,
Because even Gardner Minshew came in there and went 22 for 25, 275, and 2 touchdowns. This Chief defense isn't good, and I think you can start quarterbacks against them.
yeah, I wouldn't advise picking up Gardner Minshew and starting
I'm hoping one of you guys, whoever has quarterbacks, is going with Derek Carr as a sleeper this week. But hey, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, great. No, Gardner Minshew did really well. Two touchdowns, 1 interception. And honestly, Lenny didn't look bad. He had over 5 yards of carry. He had, 4
He got
catches.
game scripted out,
Yeah.
which is what I said was going to happen.
Yeah, it wasn't. But Lenny didn't have a bad guy. And then the receiver who showed out was DJ Chark. It should have been you, Dede. It was supposed to be
It
you.
should have been Dede. Yep.
You guys say DJ Chark.
He did get a touchdown.
Yeah,
DJ
he just didn't get much after that.
Yeah, DJ Chark, 4 for 146 in the teat.
Do you guys think that DJ Chark is the guy to have or Dede?
It's tough to tell right now with Minshew. Oh, man.
I play wait and see.
Chris-
Let's just wait. I think it's wait and see.
might
If
be
you have to
Chris
pick one
Conley.
up right now, they're both on the. Let's say they're both on the waiver wire because somebody spike dropped Dede Westbrook. Which one are you using your waiver claim to pick up?
Dede.
Dede.
Okay,
Agreed.
cool. Gotta put you guys on the spot. Come on. All right, moving on. We gotta speed this up because we're running along, boys. We got Tennessee. We got the Browns. They are who we thought they were. You want to crown paper champs? Delaney Walker, you the man. Okay.
Love it.
We'll do Cleveland really fast because they busted from top to bottom. I don't think there's anybody on that team. Odell probably had the best game out of the bunch, and it still wasn't a great game.
David Njoku's a top 8 tight end.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
David
Njoku,
Njoku. Sorry, he caught the
13.7
touchdown.
points. Not too shabby.
It counts.
Yeah. So we have the Browns. Baker Mayfield looked like he's been looking in the preseason. I'm really worried that sophomore slump is hitting him. But it's early. Like you said, don't overreact. I'm not dropping him, but I am trying to find another quarterback option to be ready. Nick Chubb, he had 75 yards. Really wasn't bad. Had he got a touchdown, it would have been an okay game. And he had one called back. So Had the one he not, or not had it not got called back, we're not talking about him busting this week. It was hard.
They just got down too much for Chubb to be really effective later on in the game, unfortunately.
And like I said,
And that defense, everybody thought that Browns defense was going to be so good. They looked awful.
they did. Odell Beckham, 7 for 71. I mean, I like the fact the targets. I like the fact that he's rocking a $300,000 watch out there and saying he's playing with no matter what.
Yeah, boy.
It's only 190,000.
That's
It's
actually
only?
no, it's 293,000.
I heard it was 350.
The last
ESPN
report I heard.
reported 190K.
Who was that?
He
Was
will
it
continue
Schefter
to
or was
wear
it
it.
Mortensen?
It's
'Cause
still a
Mortensen's-
freaking house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Friggin' house.
So David and Njoku, you guys love him or is this fluky?
You got to start someone.
Okay. All right. Then we got Marcus Mariota. Oh my gosh.
Crown him.
Ground.
Are you guys picking up Mariota if you're a Mayfield owner to
No.
start him? Okay. Just want to know.
It's 1 week. Calm down. Everybody calm down.
Derrick Henry. He looked great this week. And
He
maybe
looked
watch
all right.
Wednesday and you'll
He
find out what
broke
I.
one big. No, he looked.
That's all Derrick Henry does is break one big run.
I'm not buying it.
Saquon Barkley does that and we crown him the best running back since ever.
I didn't.
So the Titans win when Derrick Henry, I think, gets 21 plus touches. I think they have
17.
a great record
17.
with that. I'll look it up here in a
17.
second.
17 touches.
Was it 17
What's
touches?
17?
17 touches
Was
or
it
more.
17 touches? All right. Well,
But either way, A.J. Brown, rookie. He only had 3 receptions, but it was 100 yards. Looked really good, right?
oh yeah.
Delaney Walker, like I said, 5 for 55, 2 touchdowns. He's the red zone guy there. And Derrick Henry caught one pass, took it 75 yards to the house.
That's all I needed.
So, even his ground game was good. So, the Titans, obviously, they always start hot. So, they're a team I like to pick up early and then move on from. They usually.
Like it's Hall.
Yep. Anything you guys want to add? Try to speed this up. Sorry.
Nope. Next.
Next. Computers. All right, we got the Colts. We got the Chargers. We got our first overtime game
What a
of
great
the NFL
game.
season.
What a great game.
So, we have.
Yeah, the Colts really surprised me.
So Adam Vinatieri's first thing I want to bring up. He missed an extra point. Then he missed a field goal.
Yep, that hurt him.
But hey, we still love you, Adam. He's still a great guy. I bet you he's beating himself up more than we could ever beat himself up.
He was 1 for 3 on field goals and 1 for 2 on extra points.
Yep.
So
Jacoby Brissett, only 190 yards, but 2 touchdowns. Josh,
Hey,
what do you
dude,
think?
I was all in on the beef brisket. I like him.
The guy he should be in on,
The beef brisket.
the guy we all should be in on, and be upset that we doubted him that Andrew Luck was out and he was going to do worse, was Marlon Mack.
The Mac attack.
Because he did only have like 20 to 30 yards in the first half. He ended up with 174 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, it was clear that they wanted to take some of the pressure off of the beef brisket, and they gave Marlon Mack 25 carries. They ran the ball 33 times in this game. I was very encouraged by that, and I think Marlon Mack is going to have a pretty decent season as long as he stays healthy.
And then we got T.Y. Hilton, 8 for 87 and 2 touchdowns. So I like the touchdowns. I like T.Y. still getting the targets.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, Hilton surprised me. Sure.
Devin Funches and the tight ends all busted. I believe Jack Doyle had a touchdown called back, at least one.
And Devin Funches broke his collarbone.
So, yeah, he's done. Oh, he's done for the year. He's on the IR, right?
He's on the IR, designated to return right now.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think Jack Doyle, personally, I still think Jack Doyle is the tight end to own there. But
I'm not giving up on you, Eric.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm not giving up on Ebron either.
I hope you don't give up on yourself, Eric.
Huh?
What? All right.
Josh said he doesn't give up on it. Not giving up on Eric. But then we got the Chargers. And then we got, oh my Jesus, Austin Eckler. Oh! Watch out, boys.
That was a good game.
On my bench with 39 points. Feels bad.
Well, you're just weird for doing that.
Yeah, I don't know why you.
He only had 58 yards on the ground. Justin Jackson actually outproduced him on the ground.
on a yards per carry. Yeah,
On the yards per carry, because he had one less yard, but on half the carries.
yeah.
But where Austin Eckler did his damage was 6 catches for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did have that one rushing touchdown at the end of the game to win the game.
Is that all?
It's a lot of damage.
So Austin Eckler, everybody's riding high on him. Are you guys looking to sell him, or are you holding on to him? Because reports are that Melvin Gordon will be back between the 4th to 6th week of the season.
He better come back because he's losing what kind of leverage he had.
But I'm getting flashbacks to last year with Le'Veon Bell, where he has to report by this date, and he'll report by this date.
It all depends on the makeup of your team. Like if you are the Tyreek Hill owner and you just lost a receiver, you don't need Eckler because you have depth. Go trade him for a stud.
You talking about me?
receiver.
You talking about my team?
Was I talking about your team?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was talking about your team.
Lamar
It
Jackson
sounded
on my
like
bench.
it.
I still put up 160.
Yeah, go get it. But if you need if you need a stud running back, go or receiver, I mean, because you're in a bad position, go get one. Why not sell high?
Yes, it's so high on Eckler right now. But I mean, Mike Clay reported it today. He's going to be probably a borderline number 1 guy until Gordon comes back, and
Or
he may
he
be
gets hurt.
after.
I think Justin Jackson still needs to be owned.
Yeah, he still needs to be
Yes.
on. I was very encouraged by the Hunter Henry 4 for 60. I like that. I like seeing that. He had 5
It
targets.
took a while for him to get going. He didn't have a catch till the second half.
Yeah, but when he
And
got
that's
going,
also when Mike Williams came out with a knee injury.
yep.
So we'll monitor. I haven't heard any updates on Mike Williams. I think he's questionable for the next game.
Still feel good about it.
But Keenan Allen, 8 for 123 and had a touchdown. Rivers threw an interception, a one-handed great interception. Go look it up if you guys want.
That was insane.
Yeah, that went.
Sticky
That was
hands.
that was going to Keenan Allen as well. So he went for it. Tried to go for a second touchdown. So Keenan Allen, he fine.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, 7th best receiver in PPR this week.
Yep, and Phillip Rivers, he's Phillip Rivers.
Love me some Philly Rivers.
Whatever.
The biggest thing with that was Michael Badgley. He didn't play, got groin injury, so you might want to drop him if you had him on your team, which I did on one team. Don't worry about it. Forgot to pay attention to all 7 of my teams. Sorry, guys. All right, next up, we got Cincinnati. We got the Seahawks. Where do you guys want to start? You want to start Cincinnati? You want to start Seahawks?
Let's talk about, I don't know, maybe Seattle's wide receivers.
DK Metcalf?
No, let's start with the other one.
Oh, Tyler Lockett?
Yeah.
He got a
The
touchdown.
46th best receiver in fantasy football.
That's fine. But look at the guys that are above him. There's plenty of guys above him that are going to fall below.
Yeah, that's true.
DK Metcalf did have a good week. 4 for 89. Whenever you're only throwing the ball 20 times and to get 6 of those targets, that's very encouraging for DK
And
Metcalf.
Tyler Lockett, super efficient, right? He only had 2 targets, 1 for 44 and a touchdown.
Should have been 2 catches, but he dropped the second one.
Yeah.
It was,
exactly.
and it was like, it's your fault for dropping it, you idiot.
It was in the breadbasket.
DK Metcalf
you
was-
gotta bring that in.
running by dudes and mossing dudes, and
Which is weird. He's so big. He's such a large
he doesn't
man.
look that big in his full pads and everything, which I get. It's probably because he's not wearing pads under there.
He's a big man.
Yeah, he was flying around the field. He looked great.
But the other guy
Really
I want to
did.
talk about is Chris Carson.
Yeah, my boy Chris.
7 targets.
Suck it, Rashard Penny owners.
7 targets. 7 targets. 6 receptions. 35 yards. I'm finally glad they've went away from this CJ Pro size, have a receiving back thing.
Smooches.
Yeah, all these guys. And they're saying, give Chris Carson the ball. Yeah, he might not run the prettiest routes, but he'll catch the ball and he'll lay down his head and he'll knock some people over.
Yeah.
And he also did on the ground. He did have 1 fumble, but that didn't stop him. They kept getting the ball. He had 15
Yep.
carries.
24 points. He looked great.
Good job.
Anything else on the Seattle side you guys want
Let's
to talk
move
about?
over to Cincinnati.
Let's move on. We're going to Cincinnati. We're moving on to Cincinnati. Calm down, Bill.
With the week 1 passing yardage leader,
Andy Dalton?
no one threw for more yards.
Yeah, he threw. Also, I think nobody threw the ball more times. He threw the ball 51 times.
Potato, tomato.
So Joe Mixon had.
He was still outside the top 12 though, even though he threw for the most yardage.
Joe Mixon came out of the game with a ankle, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, it was an ankle.
And Giovanni Bernard played the rest of the game. Giovanni Bernard, if he's out there, you need to go get him because we don't know the status of Joe Mixon. He needs to be owned because when Joe Mixon is out, he is the guy there. There's really nobody behind him that I'm worried about running the ball.
Yep.
Yep.
John Ross. Do you guys want to know John Ross?
Nope.
Out of nowhere.
So look back on the stuff from last year when A.J. Green was out. And when A.J. Green was out, John Ross wasn't completely terrible.
He's horrible. He's done nothing in his career to lead me to believe that this is going to
He's had like 3 flash games like this.
No. He's dead to me.
7 for 158 and 2 touchdowns. If you have room on your bench to take a flyer, I would take a flyer on him. I mean, it's a flyer. I'm not saying start him, but
Tyler Boyd looked good. 8 for 60. I'm good with that.
he had
Yeah.
11 targets too, which is nice.
And a lot of targets went to the tight ends. 5 for Uzama and 6 for Eifert.
Yeah, I think the tight ends. I think they're going to go a lot 2 tight end sets with the wide receiver situation like it is right now.
Yeah, I don't see them continuing to throw the ball 50 times a game, so you got to temper your expectations. But one of these tight ends is going to be valuable.
Yeah.
One of them.
Just got to figure out which one.
It's Kreifert until he gets hurt.
All right, and then we got the them boys whooping up on the Giants.
Eric, we them boys.
Everybody calm down. It was one game. Dak's going to
Pay
get paid
Dak.
now, which makes me
Pay
super
the
sad.
man
but
his money.
It's 1 week.
Pay Dak now. He had a perfect passer rating. 158.
Pay
on
that
three.
man
Everybody
his money.
calm
Pay
down.
him $40 million.
Calm down.
Didn't he put up 40 fantasy points?
He put up a lot,
So he should probably
Don't
get
care.
$1 million for every fantasy point he did.
at least 400 yards.
The worst thing about this was immediately, like not almost immediately after the game, the Cowboys tweeted out Adam Schefter tweeted out that Jerry Jones said that an extension was imminent
Yeah, we already
for
knew
Dak Prescott after one game.
Yeah.
This is the exact same crap you did with Miles Austin and Tony Romo
Oh,
and all
yeah.
those other losers that
wasn't-
we never won anything with.
Wasn't he saying similar stuff like that in the offseason? Like they're working on a deal
Yeah.
and they'll have a deal. Like he just keeps saying all
Yeah,
these
and
random.
they offered him $30 million and he turned it
He
down.
Exactly.
Jerry doesn't have a choice. He's too old for another rebuild.
Yeah.
He has to pay him.
So before
Jerry
we
needs to think about the future.
Before we get in the Cowboys
be
situation,
dead.
you guys vent about stuff that's not fantasy football
Good.
related, and who cares? I want to talk about the Giants because there's only one guy to talk about, and that's Evan Ingram.
Woo!
He looked amazing. He got
killed
the
it.
full targets. Eli's going his way. He's a must-start tight end every week. But that's the only guy in the Giants. Even Saquon Barkley, I mean, you have to start Saquon Barkley, but they're loading up the box, and they're saying
Yeah, but he still had 120 yards.
he
It wasn't
did,
like-
but it's still, for the number one overall pick, he let you down.
Yeah, but I mean, he still had 17.9 points. I mean, that's still a good stat line.
I know, but
I mean, it's
we're used
okay.
to-
It's not CMC's 42, but it's still a good week.
We're used to last year of Todd Gurley's, 25 points a game. And the number one picks for the last few years have been.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then on the Cowboys side, Dak, great game, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, really good. Zeke and Tony Pollard both split carries, 13 apiece. Zeke was the better running back. Surprise. Hill's going to get his full workload back this week. Not worried about that. The guy I'm excited about was Michael Gallup. I really felt like he was going to
Oh.
emerge this year. 7 catches for 158 yards.
Yeah, good
I don't know
call
what we
on
can
that one,
take.
Josh.
I don't know what we can take from this game because that Giant secondary is.
They were bad, but
Bad.
Michael Gallup looked.
This is like me anointing Lamar Jackson the MVP off the Miami game.
No, no,
I mean, I'm just
that's
saying.
true.
No, what I'm saying is like watching him out there, you could tell last year when he was out there playing, there was still a sense of like, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. He looked like he was ready to go this week, and it showed out there.
Okay, I'm just before you go throwing him in your lineup over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying throw him in over Amari Cooper.
Yeah, don't be throwing him in your flex over Damian Williams even.
Okay.
Yeah, but if they've got a good matchup, all 3 Cowboys receivers were in the top 24 this
Yeah,
week.
and Amari had 100 yards and a touchdown. Randall Cobb had Cole Beasley numbers. Jason Witten caught a touchdown. Called it.
Jay Witt.
Jay Witt,
Oh,
first ballot Hall of
They
Famer,
asked
baby.
him. They asked him, "Would you like to comment on your touchdown?" He said, "I'm not good at that."
did he?
No.
It sounds
I'm not
factual.
good at that.
Sounds factual.
Good for you, Jay Witt.
I love Twitter. All right, so then we get to move on to the closest game of the weekend.
Literally. It could not have gotten any
The
closer.
Lions at Arizona. I mean, this was a tale of two halves.
2 halves?
Yeah. Because we had the Lions dominating almost the whole first half of the game. Kyler Murray couldn't do anything. He couldn't find a wide receiver over his offensive lineman because he was hitting offensive linemen left and right. He was getting balls batted down in his face. It wasn't looking pretty. But then all of a sudden, so we'll just talk about the Lions. We had Matt Stafford, who had a really good game. 385 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wide receivers. So we do, at the Empty Wagon, need to make a formal apology. We need to apologize to TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, we sure do.
We
sure do.
thought he was Eric Ebron. He is not Eric Ebron. He is way more talented than that. He's way more talented than his former teammate Noah Fant, who we'll talk about later.
Oh,
He had 131 yards and a touchdown on 9 targets.
F my life.
I don't think he's going to match those yardage numbers, but I love the fact that Matthew Stafford's throwing in ball that many times. I don't think we ever saw games with Eric Ebron getting that many targets.
Well, no, because Eric Ebron dropped too many of them. So
Yeah.
no,
Fair.
yeah, Matty Stafford looked great.
What about Danny Amendola, boys? Eric, you picking up Danny Amendola?
He finished ahead of a lot of big names.
Yeah,
Where
above
was he
Tyler
at?
Lockett.
Didn't-
But
13. He was just outside the top 12.
Didn't I-
13, 23 points. Yeah, why not?
Didn't I
If
say
you
keep
need
an eye on
if
him?
you need a good flex, get him. Yeah.
As long
You
as he's
did,
healthy
Josh.
until
That
he
was a
gets
good call.
Golden Tate
until he gets concussed.
slot roll.
Until he gets concussed.
People forget that before he played for New England and was kind of lost in that offense, he was really good in St. Louis.
He was good in New England when he was healthy.
Yeah, but
He was good in Miami when he was
But they
healthy.
had 2 or 3 guys that did the
Yeah.
same thing as him. Now he's the one guy.
Yeah, a lot of overlapping skill sets there.
Yeah.
But he's the only guy that can really do that stuff well on this team. So.
Kenny Galladay was okay thanks to the touchdown. The biggest dud here was Kerryon Johnson of the day for this team. He couldn't get it going on the ground against what we thought was going to be a good matchup against the Arizona defense.
Yeah, I thought he had a great matchup here and just couldn't get it done on the ground. I don't know if that was the offensive line just didn't play well. They're not meshing well in terms of the run game, or that front line for the Cardinals is actually halfway decent. I'm not sure.
The good thing is that he out-snapped and out-carried C.J. Anderson.
That is good news.
He wasn't as efficient, but it wasn't much different. It's very minuscule difference between the two.
I think both of these teams are just horrible.
Okay, and then let's move over. You guys worried about Kerryon?
No.
Okay.
He'll be okay.
So, Kyler Murray, I know none of us liked him. And for the first half, you really didn't have to like him. He wasn't good. Second half, though, he ended up with 308 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Still not great. I'm still not wanting to start this guy anything over Superflex, 2 QB, something like that. David Johnson, though, 18 carries, 82 yards. And he got it done in the air, too. 6 catches for 55 yards and a catch. Michael Crabtree was a healthy scratch from this game. Thank God.
The boy Larry Fitz though still got it done.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's in the
on
young,
my bench as well.
on the
Thanks.
I think Arizona might be one of the youngest teams. Them and the Raiders are like the youngest teams in the NFL. And you got Larry Fitzgerald, like 37 years old, out there just catching touchdown passes to send the game to overtime.
Just runs
He
like
looked-
a gazelle.
Yeah, he looked unreal. He was making diving catches. Like, he just looked every bit of a number 1 wide receiver. Still to this day, what is he, 16 seasons in the league or something like that? Something crazy?
My favorite receiver.
Well, the thing I like about Arizona is that honestly, Larry Fitzgerald, depending on, I want to see how this rest goes because I'm not sure about this Detroit defense yet. But he had 13 targets and did great with them. Keyshawn Johnson, not that Keyshawn, not the old one. It's a young one. He had 10 targets. He only caught 5 of them, 46 yards, but he still had 10 targets thrown his way. And then Christian Kirk had 12 targets his way, only caught 4 of them, 32 yards. But they're getting the targets, they're getting the volume, they're out there. So this is a situation to watch where they are airing the ball out a lot. Kyler Murray threw the ball 54 times. So air raid offense in the NFL.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I think all things considered, this was Murray's first NFL game. You could see him start to settle in the fourth quarter there. It seems like things started to slow down for him. I think that's a good sign for things going forward. DJ got the volume. Everybody else got volume. Kirk got 12. Larry Fitz got a bunch of targets. I mean, they're playing more up-tempo. They're getting more plays. I think that offense is going to be okay.
All right, and let's take it to let's go to Monday Night Football. Are you guys ready for some football?
Always.
So there was one game that was amazing, and it kind of wore me out for the second game because it was so exciting at the end that I was a little exhausted for the last game. We have the Texans at the Saints. Nuke dropped 3 passes, boys. Done with him? Drop him, right? He dropped 3 passes. You guys drop him?
No.
Hold
Absolutely
on a minute.
not.
He was amazing. He's amazing. Deshaun Watson did get up gingerly, hurt his back already, but he did it diving into the end
offensive
zone.
line.
No, he did it diving into the end zone.
Yeah, this
for a second.
wasn't the line's fault. This one.
I mean, he did get sacked 6 times.
That was
but-
the line's fault.
Yeah, still bad.
And we got, I don't know what's going on here, but we got stuff going on in the background. Whatever, that's cool. We'll just continue to go through
What is
it.
happening?
Josh is watching videos on the tube or something. I don't know.
Some ad.
But Deshaun Watson, I'm not worried. Obviously, we're not worried about him. Nuke Hopkins, we're not worried about him. Will Fuller had some long catches, but none of them for a touchdown. Kenny Stills had a touchdown. Is that anything for you guys? If
Yeah.
Kiki's
He
out,
was the open guy. I'm
If
not
Kiki's
worried.
out,
I'm not
is-
starting him still.
I like Kenny Stills because he was only on the field for like 12 snaps, and he made an impact whenever he's out there. He's going to get more acquainted with this offense. He just showed up. Him and Larry Tunsil just showed up. So
If Kiki's back, though, I think his role goes down.
I don't know. The guy, Will Fuller the fifth, went up and mossed that dude. That was amazing. Did you see it?
I saw no. You talking about when he body slammed a guy too?
No, that was DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, sorry.
Will Fuller the fifth.
No. Actually, he didn't because they asked Randy Moss about it at halftime, and he said, "Nah, I didn't come down with it clean. So it's, for mossing it, you got to have good control of the ball, and you got to grab it, and you got to snatch it from him because he kind of, it was still a full catch, but he bobbled it like on his chest on the ground.
Oh my gosh, so sorry.
And Moss said, "I hate to take it away from him." So he didn't moss him.
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
The running back situation though, in the Texans, because this is where an RB2 comes out of this spot for the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde was 10 for 83. Do you all want to own Carlos Hyde? Eric, I think you just dropped Carlos Hyde in one of our leagues last week, correct?
I did.
How do you feel about that now?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I wouldn't be. I want Carlos Hyde. I want that RB2.
For a plug-and-play bye-week guy, something like that.
He's going to be is an RB2. He's never going to be a great guy. He is the new Lamar Miller. He's exactly
and
what
he
I
looked
want.
better running the ball than Duke Johnson did.
If you need to start Carlos Hyde as your RB2, you didn't draft well.
Bye-apocalypse, baby. Bye-apocalypse. Wait till it comes around, and you'll be begging for Carlos Hyde in the
You're
bye-apocalypse.
going to beg so good.
I will not.
All right, but he looked better than Duke Johnson running. Duke Johnson carried the ball 9 times, but Duke Johnson caught 4 passes. So, whatever.
Yeah, Duke's going to be that third down, that passing situation guy. Because Hyde isn't that person. So
And then Drew Brees, he still got it.
Surprise.
he's cold-blooded, like ice water in his
I
veins.
felt so
He's like
bad.
37 seconds. Yes, please.
Do you guys
Thanks.
feel bad
Thanks
for
for all that time.
Alvin Kamara, who got vultured a touchdown by Latavius Murray because he
No.
ran over 4 dudes?
No.
I mean, Kamara still
kind
had
of
7
expected
catches for 72 yards and 97 yards on the game. So Kamara looked really great. Michael Thomas looked good. Really good.
Surprise.
Jared Cook, it's game 1, right? Let's not overreact.
Yeah,
Ted Ginn, though.
it didn't bode well for. I'm a Jared Cook owner in one of our leagues, and it didn't help me out a
Did
lot.
anybody start Taysom Hill? No.
Screw Taysom Hill. That's the weirdest.
What's his position again?
Everything.
He's a
Swiss Army knife is what they call him.
His position is football. That's his position.
Ted Ginn, though. Do you all want to own Ted Ginn? Would you own him over the Washington receivers?
He's so up and down. He's so boom or
Home
bust.
games.
I don't
Home
want him.
games.
I don't want Ted.
Home games only, Ted Ginn. That's what I'm calling him.
I don't want him.
They need a number 2 there. He was hurt last year, and it showed.
Great game. Congratulations, but no thank you.
All right, so after that game and the Will Lutz and Kyrie Fairbairn missing an extra point but getting saved by the flag, we can move on over to the Broncos at the Raiders.
Do we have to?
We do, because
Do we
I
have
tell you
to?
what, Derek Carr, lighten it up, boys.
Yeah, he did.
So Joe Flacco, whatever, Joe Flacco did Joe Flacco things. He looked terrible. If you're starting Joe Flacco, please relook at your fantasy football lineup. And we'll
Joe
help you.
Flacco played better, like in terms of fantasy, was better than Derek Carr. Not by much, but he was.
Yeah, but Derek Carr was just so efficient.
He was.
Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer Smith looked really good,
Dude, he ate
but
24.3 points, seventh running back in PPR.
he got the workload. He got all the work, and that's why he was good. He wasn't really. It wasn't that he was super efficient. He was still 3.7 yards a carry. It was.
They
Just,
don't have anybody else on that roster. So
I worry about when they're down because let's be honest. But the guy we all need to talk about here, you know who it is.
You were right.
Darren Waller, baby.
I'll give it to you. It feels
Yeah.
so good.
Good old Chucky saw him on the practice squad working out with the Ravens last year and said, "Go get me that guy." Said, "I like that guy. It's one of his guys." 7 for 70. I'll take that all day for my tight end.
sure, 14 points. He looked great. Very sure hands.
And then Tyrell Williams. I mean, he looked good. They went deep to him a few times too, which surprised me.
They did. It was nice to see them take some shots downfield to him.
They did. I saw it.
He was a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Number 16. He looked good. He finished out of Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Moving
Wow.
over to the running back or the Broncos situation, their running back situation. It's about as clear as mud.
Well, Royce Freeman was the better back.
He was, but
Yep.
Philip Lindsay's still the back they want to be the better back.
We'll see. It was one game.
Okay. Noah Fant looked great. Not.
Oh, he.
There was like 7 false starts he had too that didn't call because they were just feeling bad for the guy.
Oh my gosh.
Because he would just like shimmy
Whenever the Broncos started the game with a tight end sweep
for -5.
for Noah Fant, I was like, oh no, this isn't good. This.
All right.
Faison Hamilton.
So we had Cortland Sutton, who looked really great, 7 for 120. We had Emmanuel Sanders, 5 for 86 and a touchdown. But Deshaun Hamilton, he was 2 for 5, and he dropped a easy touchdown right in his hands. Hit him right in the hands. Worst place to hit a wide receiver.
Ugh.
And that's about the time I fell asleep.
Yep.
And then I woke up, and then I fell asleep again. So,
Yep.
out of this game, is there anybody you guys are looking to add? Cortland Sutton,
Oh yeah, for sure.
if he's out there. go
Yeah,
get
if
him.
he's not owned in your league, you definitely need to pick him up. He looked great, and so did Sanders. Sanders was
Would
fantastic.
you guys rather have Cortland Sutton or Tyrell Williams?
Ooh.
Tyro.
Sutton plays out of the slot, yes, or is Sanders running in the slot?
Sutton plays on the outside. Just make a decision. We're at an hour and 16 minutes.
I like Sutton. I like Sutton.
Okay, cool. You would take Sutton, Josh, the Broncos fan.
You gotta be
His
realistic.
son's favorite teams are Raiders, and he knows the Raiders are better.
I don't think Derek Carr can
Viva
keep
la
it up.
raza.
I know Flacco's going to throw those same routes every week.
All right. Anything else? Anything adds? Anything we needed that we didn't hit on? You guys want to talk about real quick before we end this show?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in to Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Josh. You can hit me up at FF Josh Hughes at Brad. He'll be at Tack Jones, and Eric is at Gunsofveld19. You can hit up the show Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Empty Wagon FF. Have a great week. Good luck. We'll see you guys on Thursday or Friday somewhere. I don't know.
Saturday morning is when you'll hear us.
All right, later.
Yeah. Josh ain't
Bye.
good. Josh ain't good without the music in his ear. Later.